Welcome to 50 Short Stories. Let's get this started with la 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 la. Alright, today is the 9th short story and it is called The Shot. Bang! And I look like Edgar Allan Poe. Alright, keep going on. Okay, so today we actually have to talk about a short story called The Shot. And The Shot itself is pretty interesting. The story itself is basically about two men. They're like, hey, you know what? We're pals, man. Eh? Yeah, we're pals. And go ahead, start talking to each other, and they're all like, hey, you know what? We're still pals, eh? That all works out, and they start talking about shooting guns. They're like, oi, so this is a gun. Pang! Can you shoot it? I can shoot it 30. I can shoot a card accurately 30 places away. And they're like, okay, show me. And they all did that, and they decided, hey, you know what? I think you're an awesome lad, man. They go start telling each other random stories about things. And then, of course, with that, some other sorts of misunderstandings start happening too. Of course, shots happen, and then people start, and the story also starts off with people literally looking at things too. Some of them actually got hats. Like one of the main characters got a hat with like a bullet just above here. And then one of them actually also got other things too. To be honest, it's all interesting and nice. But the most important thing I really want to say is that, you know what? It's just nice and all, but I think I will prefer a gun. And then, of course, they start talking about, of course, it's during a war, they're in like a military zone, and they're literally talking about women because literally there are no women in the town that they're living. They all see men in uniforms. They're all like, H, 8. Then all happens, and they decide, hey, you know what? And then suddenly one of them move in with a woman, and it becomes one of their neighbors, and then they're like, ooh la la! They realize she's married, and they go ahead and start talking to her. Then chapter 2 starts off. One of the guys realizes that the husband of the beautiful lady is basically apparently, it's basically the friend of his, and they start talking about shooting, and they're like, oh, I used to be able to shoot, like, I can still shoot a card that's 30 paces away, like, bang, I can shoot him square mid. However, here's the thing. The thing is that I learned that you need constant practice. Like, I sent my gun away for the past, and they're like, tok, 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 tok. Click. Alright, here's your gun back, sir. And they're like, alright, let's start shooting something at 10 paces away. Boom, 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 boom. And I missed the entire time. And they're like, no! And of course that all happened, and I was literally sad, and then realized something. You know what? I think it's time that you are done. Like, go ahead, start doing things, and then next thing that you know is that, hey, you know what? It's time that you come ahead and do things. And basically, I realized that you need constant practice every day. You need constant practice of 30 paces shooting, boom, boom, boom. And then, of course, they're like, all right, let's have a deal. And like, you shoot me before my wife comes out. And he's like, 3, 2, I can't shoot you. I feel like I'm shooting an innocent person. I never felt like shooting a person without weaponless. It feels like murder. Every time you kill someone who also has a weapon, it's murder too, you know? Yeah, but someone without any weapon? That's pointless. It's so unfair. Let's draw lots. And then the the other person gets it. Okay, you're lucky, and like, bang! Bang! They go ahead, and it's like, I'm so glad I missed. That goes ahead, and literally everything starts coming ahead into this darn little world. Of course, with all that going on, there are a few other things that starts happening too. These short stories start happening, and literally people started thinking that, hey, you know what? It's actually time that you do something your way. They start doing things, they start talking, and then like talking more and more and more, and then finally they realize something. You know what? It's all a waste of time. It's time that we just go ahead and destroy things, Destroy them. And people actually start literally believing them too. So there's one thing I actually learned from this shot. It's that people are weird, and that they fight, they joke around, but people are still people. You can always still be friends. Friends can always reconcile. And if you've ever read that little Mojang, a book written by Mojang, it's called The Island, and so there's also this other thing called The Mountain. And in the last book that was published last year, The Village. If you ever read that book series, then you probably know, like those, like Fressons, and there are also those lessons too. You might actually be familiar with that if you've ever read it. And to be honest, I really hope it turns into a movie. But anyway, other things too. It actually just all goes ahead and starts telling us about little things. And since we can't do any of that, there's a bunch of other things that can happen too. So what do you learn from this book? Maybe it's just that friends are just friends. You can't just destroy a friend. It's like if you've been through too many things together, you want to keep that friendship lasting. Always. And that's about it. There's one thing I'll have to say that I learned is that a shot is a shot, a friend is a friend, and a shot cannot kill a friend, especially a bullet that's shot by a friend. And if it does, it's always an accident, or that friend is no longer that friend's friend. So yeah, hopefully you guys actually did enjoy this episode. I hope to see you guys soon on the next time. Turn out, peace, and please wear a helmet. Bye bye. Edgar Allan Poe smiles.